Every great institution has a story, right? Today, we're diving into the story of Al-Tibri Medical College. It's a journey that starts with a really simple but powerful idea that one single clinic could grow into this incredible force for both education and community care. This is all about how a vision becomes a real legacy. So, here's the big question we're going to tackle. How in the world does a small eye clinic, kind of on the edge of a massive city like Karachi, manage to grow into a full-blown medical college? Let's dig in and find out. Okay, so to really get the story of Al-Tibri, you've got to start with its location. Because this isn't your typical university campus right in the middle of the city. Where it is, well, that's a huge part of its mission. So you'll find Al-Tibri in Gadabtown, Malir, which is right on the outskirts of Karachi. And believe me, that was no accident. This location was a very deliberate choice. It was picked to serve the suburban and, maybe more importantly, the rural communities, the very people who often have the hardest time getting advanced healthcare and education. It's like its entire purpose is written right there on the map. Now, there's one more piece to this puzzle. Al-Tibri is what's called a constituent college. Basically, what that means is that it's part of a bigger family, the Isra University. And that's a brilliant move, right? Because you get the best of both worlds. You have your own unique identity, but you've got the full backing, the governments, and the degree awarding power of a big, established university. That kind of support is absolutely critical in the beginning. All right, so we've got the where. Now let's hit rewind and go back to the very, very beginning. Because a place like this doesn't just start with bricks and mortar. Nope, it starts with an idea, a single, powerful one. The person behind this whole vision was the late Professor Dr. Ghulam Qadir Qazi, a truly forward-thinking ophthalmologist. And his philosophy is captured perfectly right here. The seat of service begins with a single specialty, but its roots can support a forest of knowledge. Just think about that for a second. The idea was, hey, if we get really good at one thing, in this case eye care, we can use that strong foundation, those roots, to grow something massive, an entire forest of learning and care. And you can totally see how this vision played out over about 20 years. So it kicks off small in 1990 with the Al-Ibrahim Eye Hospital. Then the parent foundation sets up a whole university in 1997. The really important thing to see here is the momentum, The success of that first eye hospital created the foundation for something so much bigger, leading straight to the launch of the medical college in 2010. Each step literally paved the way for the next one. Okay, so the idea is there, the groundwork is laid, but how do you make that leap from just a concept to a real official institution that can actually hand out medical degrees? So, 2010, that was the year, the absolute game changer. It's when Al-Tibri officially started teaching, but even more importantly, it's when it got recognition from the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, or PMDC. And let me tell you, without that official stamp of approval, nothing else moves forward. This was the moment that the dream became a legitimate, recognized reality. And that PMDC recognition? Well, that was just the first major piece of the puzzle. They were smart. They built this super solid foundation of credibility with all the major players. You've got the Higher Education Commission, making sure the academics are top-notch, the College of Physicians and Surgeons for the postgraduate training, and of course, Isra University backing it all up as the degree-awarding body. All of these together are what give a degree from Al-Tibri its real weight and value. All right, so it's a legit college, we get that. But what's it actually like to learn there? What's the academic setup? So they split the curriculum into two main parts. On one side, you have the basic medical sciences. That's all your foundational stuff, anatomy, physiology, the building blocks. And on the other side, you've got the clinical sciences. That's the hands-on practice in medicine, surgery, and everything else. This whole setup is designed to give students both the why, the deep science, and the how, the actual practice of medicine. And listen, it's not just about getting that first degree and you're done. Nope, this place is designed to be with you for your entire career journey. So let's walk through that path, shall we? You start with the 5-year MBBS degree. That's your foundation. Then from there, you've got choices. You can go deeper into the research side of things with an MPhil or a PhD, or you can jump into clinical residencies to become a specialist in a field like surgery. It's a complete end-to-end system for building up medical professionals from the ground up. And to make all this learning happen, you need the right tools, right? Well, they've got some serious infrastructure. I mean, we're talking about a campus built specifically for this, with its own teaching hospital, the Al-Tibri Hospital, plus all the specialized labs, a digital library, and even housing for students right on campus. All the tools you need to succeed are right there. So, we've talked about the location, the vision, the academics, all of it. But it all comes down to one big question, doesn't it? What's the real-world impact? What's the legacy here? This is what's so cool about their mission. It's totally a two-way street. For the students, it offers this amazing community-focused education with tons of real-world clinical experience. And for the community, it provides healthcare that's accessible and often subsidized. It's this perfect cycle. The students learn by treating the community, and the community gets the care they need. So when you put it all together, the impact is huge, and you can actually see it. First, it's a lifeline for healthcare for so many people in the Malir district. Second, it's become a major center for eye care, staying true to where it all started. And maybe most importantly, it's creating this pipeline of new doctors who are going to go on to serve communities all over Pakistan. And all this leaves us with a really important question to think about. What really makes an institution successful? Is it the rankings you see in a magazine, or is it the community it lifts up, the actual lives it changes? The story of Al-Tibri, well, it makes a pretty strong argument for one of those answers.